Today we have with us somebody very special. She's very sexy, she's got beautiful hair, she's got the longest legs, and she is Jacqueline Fernandez. Jacqueline, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Was that a good enough description or did I miss out on
I
some?
was like, wow, okay, long legs. I was like, yeah, maybe not.
Those are pretty long.
You know what? I think what happens is you guys see me in heels, and so I think that's where it actually comes from. They're not really that long.
Really? And your waist is like this small. It's like a handspan waist. How many hours do you spend on your fitness regime every day? Obviously, you're a fitness freak.
I am into fitness. I actually don't like to use the word fitness freak, but I think like people who are into fitness, they're not freaks. They're just people who want to change their lifestyle and do what's good for themselves and have a good life. So, but yeah, I think I'm not fanatic about it. I think if that's what I'm trying to say, that and fitness shouldn't be something that you should become fanatic about. It should just be something that you enjoy, and the only way. Exactly. It needs to be something that comes with ease, and the only way to do that is so that,
And it's routine.
It. Yeah, it has to be. But that takes work. That takes work to make something routine.
Well, post Kick and post Judwa, you have become like the front runner when it comes to commercial cinema. So you've been doing really well there, and even when it comes to franchises, like whether it's Race 2, Race 3,
yeah.
You have been the first choice.
Yeah. I was like, okay. That's a great thing for me,
yes.
Actually. I think it was a very conscious effort on mine and my agency's part as well, my team, that commercial cinema was a forte. And it was something that I had to kind of like focus on, because not only was it a forte or something that I was, quite good at. It was something I really enjoyed doing. And I just feel for any actor wanting to be a part of commercial films, or who maybe is successful in commercial films, there has to be a conviction in what you're doing. And if there's no conviction in in the characters you're playing, in the story that you're telling in commercial cinema, it'll never ever really amount to anything. You probably won't really impact the audience the way you should be. So I have so much conviction in commercial cinema. It's something I've grown up with as a kid. It was the only kind of cinema I wanted to watch. So and I mean, obviously, being an actor, I do have to watch so many different types of cinema, so many different types of languages, and so many different types of genres. But commercial cinema is something I think I probably enjoy.
It's fun.
Most. It is. It's fun, and for me, it's the magic of movies.
And obviously, you have a very glamorous personality, so that goes with commercial cinema as well.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
sexy,
like maybe
glamorous.
those are the characters I enjoy playing. They're major alter egos as well. I mean, they're such crazy lives, and they go through such crazy situations. It's not possible to have that in a normal everyday life. Even being an actress, I know that there's not that much drama. Like in my life, like honestly, in reality, everyone thinks it's really dramatic. Being a film actress and stuff, but actually it's pretty normal. But like the characters we play, especially in commercial cinema, they're outrageous. They do crazy things. They say crazy things. And in real life, that's like so far away from what I actually am.
I just realized you're very modest. Instead of saying film star, you said film actress.
Yeah.
And you were 6 years old when you decided to become an entertainer.
7. I just remember seeing films like, whatever, Sound of Music, or there was like this one film, Mask of Zorro with Catherine Zeta-Jones, and then there was like all these like really, really, beautiful like kind of films. And I just remember thinking, so I basically grew up in Hollywood. It was the only language, English was the only language, I could speak, and the only language we spoke at home. And so for me, it was just the only medium of entertainment for me was Hollywood movies, English pop, American pop, music videos. So I would see all these things. My father was the only one who could speak Hindi, actually. I mean, being a Sri Lankan, he actually spoke Hindi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have a lot of Sri Lankan friends, but they don't really speak Hindi though.
I know, but I guess because we grew up in the Middle East,
Bahrain.
and there was like so many people that he was,
dealing
people
with.
from India that he was like, working with, that he actually picked up the language. And he would watch Hindi movies every Wednesday night because we only had like national TV, we didn't have cable, and so we could only really watch like whatever was given to us. And there was a Hindi movie night every Wednesday night, so he would watch that, and me and my brothers and sisters would run away because we were like, we don't understand what you're watching. What are you watching? So that was like the one night we couldn't watch TV because we're like, oh no, Dad's watching like
Hindi movies,
Hindi
Bollywood,
movie.
we don't understand
anything.
But you didn't even enjoy the song and the dance and all that was happening?
I just remember, I don't know why, I just remember growing up there being like a lot of, maybe the Hindi movies that they were playing in Bahrain. Yeah, and it was a lot of like action and that kind of stuff. And as a kid, for me, like I still am, but like, you know, for me it was all about like the glamour and like the princesses and the heroines. And for some weird reason, I don't know why, maybe I just never was around when the songs were happening, but I didn't see that side of it. That came at a much later point in my life.
So what and who brought you to Bollywood? Like you said, even you never thought you would join the Bollywood, the Hindi film industry.
No.
So what really happened? What was that one single factor that really got you here?
Gosh, it's like it's really strange, but it's probably serendipity or it's probably just like destiny. I don't know what it is, but I do remember when Devdas went to the Cannes Film Festival, and I would follow the Cannes Film Festival obviously because, you know, it was so glamorous, and it was like, you know, I mean, it was really, really amazing to see all these like different foreign actresses on the red carpet, and that too France. And so I would follow, and then there was like this one year that, you know, I noticed, you know, Aishwarya Rai and like Shah Rukh Khan and then Madhuri Dixit, and I was just like, my God, what is this? And so then Devdas became really big news, and I was like, I need to see this film. And so I saw this film, and it was the first Hindi film I ever saw, and I was like, oh my God, wow. I've been missing out. What is going on here? Still, I obviously had no intention of coming to India and being part of the Hindi
where do
film.
you even start, right?
Where do you start? Like I knew no one here. I didn't know the language. I was like, whatever. But like, I mean, you know, this is obviously, it would be absurd if I told someone this is what I was going to do. And, you know, it was actually true when I did tell people I was moving to India to pursue whatever it was. They were like, why? Like, really? What are you doing? Like, you know, if anything, they thought I would probably go to America and like try and pursue like Hollywood and stuff. But I was like, no, I actually ended up first getting a modeling gig here.
Yes.
And
you're also a news anchor, right?
Yes, in Sri Lanka I was, and I was Miss Sri Lanka. So that's hence the
Miss
modeling.
Universe pageant.
Yeah, the modeling work was coming in from India, and I was like, okay, I'm doing a bit of modeling. And then the idea through the agency came in for you know, casting for Hindi films, and I was like, I didn't register at first because I was like, how? Like, how is that even possible? They're like, oh, no, we dub and we do this. And then I was just like, oh. I was like, I had no idea. And then it just, you know, I mean, Sujoy Ghosh was looking for Aladdin. He was casting for Jasmine. And I just ended up being there at the right time, actually, I think.
We're glad we have you here.
Thank you.
You know, post these two big hits, Kick and even Judwa too, they say that you're the new Katrina now. So you're definitely in the top league of actresses. How do you feel about that?
Top league is great, but I mean, like, it's impossible to replace anyone. I feel. I mean, like.
But there are bound to be comparisons. You know, it's such a competitive industry that even if you don't want to, you're going to just get pushed and, you know, be compared to other people.
I know, and I hate it.
No choice.
I really do, because I'm like, everyone has worked so hard, and everyone has their own uniqueness and beauty, and you know, so it's everyone should be known for what they are, you know. And so for me, honestly speaking, like, it's I mean, it is flattering when people say, oh my God, you know, like it's you're like this person, or you're like that person, and you're doing really well. And but at the same time, it's like I feel that it's so important to have your own space as well.
And your own identity, which you do. But I think when they're comparing you here, it's because, you know, you're both tall, you're both good looking, you'll kind of do the same genre of films.
Yes,
and it's just natural that the comparison comes in. But do you see yourself and her as completely different?
Well, different. Look, I'm a huge fan actually of Katrina's, because huge. Because even when I first came here, She by that time was already like this huge star, and you know, she was like doing such great body of work, and her success story was very inspiring. You know, she'd come from abroad and she'd like worked really hard, and so that for me was like, oh my God, like, you know, like it's such a beautiful story. And she was someone, and through the years that I've been here, I've noticed that like she's continued working so hard, and with so much, I think, like love for what she does. So, but yeah, I think honestly speaking, I it's really funny, but even if you're calling out that comparison, I don't think I'd ever be able to work as hard as she does. I think she is the epitome of what hard work is. I would never, I can't even imagine what she, you know, how hard that girl works.
Wow, that's a lot of admiration.
Yeah. She really does.
So, you know, when you just made your debut here and a couple of films went wrong here and there, apparently you just thought once you just kind of almost gave up and said, I'm packing my bags and leaving. And then what made you stay back?
Oh yeah, that was really like a funny time in my life, because I was like, oh my God, what am I doing here? I came here, I've moved countries, I don't know anyone. 2 of my first films haven't done well. I was like, do I go back to Sri Lanka? Like, I didn't even know like what kind of a career I would be going back into. All of a sudden, everything just seemed daunting. Like, I was like, I wanted to be in Hollywood as well, but that seems so daunting now too. Like, and so for like about a year, I sat around and I was just like hoping like I would, you know, sign a film. I let all my staff go.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, guys, I'm gonna kind of have to let you go right now because I'm, you know, not in a great phase. But
I can't even imagine you really went through that bad a phase where you thought, look, you're giving up. I mean,
yes, yeah, it was crazy. But then at the same time, it was like, it's funny, but at the back of my head, I was like, okay, obviously something has to work out. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm dead, you know, but like, it was just a point where I was just like, I was seriously just crossing my fingers and praying every day that what I actually wanted would come to me. But if not, okay, I'll have to figure out something else. But yeah, it just so happened that literally for the year that I waited, I got Murder 2.
yeah, and you weren't convinced about the
I
role?
wasn't convinced. I was like, oh, okay. I was
You
like,
thought you couldn't be seductive?
yeah, you know, more than anything, it wasn't my cup of tea. I was like, I don't know if I really want to go down that road and be bold, and everyone's advised me not to. But then at the end of the day, I was just like, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And Sujoy, I was very close to Joy. I'm close to Sujoy. And at that point, he was like, listen, if you're going to do Murder 2, trust me, he was like, this could probably be really, really good for you. And he was like, just go for it.
Mahesh Bhatt had to convince you that you can fit into that role.
Yeah, he did. He was like, you don't have to worry about it, just go with it. See, I was like, of course they're going to try and convince me. They're producing the film. I was like, but when it came from Sujoy, I was like, okay, this could, you know, maybe what he's saying has some truth in it. And I just went with like seriously, just...
Aren't you happy?
I am so happy. It was such an amazing experience. Just Mohit Suri, Imran Hashmi, the Bhutts, that entire team, they're so amazing to work with. And obviously they gave me my first hit in the industry.
Like you said, that you were pretty much on your own here. You didn't know much about Bollywood, and probably the same applies to your family. I don't think they can think like experts when it comes to this industry. So who do you go to for advice when you're like caught and, you know, taking decisions, or something's going wrong, or something's probably, you know, that has to be set right, or it's a great thing that you don't know whether to say yes or no to? Who do you go to for advice?
You know, sometimes I do kind of find myself not being able to turn to anyone, and I'm just like, it's sometimes scary. But I know that in really kind of trying times, there are a couple of people I can turn to who genuinely want to see me do well and want to see me happy. And they are people who have literally been there from like the very beginning. Like, Sujoy has been there from the beginning, and his advice is very sound.
I figured that because his name came up a few times.
Yes, his advice is very sound, and like, he's known me since I was a bacha. Bacha in the industry. No, but and then Nadiad, my first
Sajid.
It was that same time, you know, like he signed me up for an item song in Houseful 2. we have had back-to-back hits. I mean, like it's 6, 7 hits we've just had back-to-back, you know. So we've had a great working, friendship, and he is someone I can just be like, listen, I'm so confused. And there are times like I go through these phases where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. What am I doing? And I just go over and I'm just like, what is going on? And I leave his office and I'm like, I actually feel better right now. You know what I mean? Salman is someone whose advice I also take extremely seriously. He's a major mentor and an important figure in my life.
Like when you look at your career and your life, pre-kick and post-kick, there's a huge difference.
Yes.
So how much of an influence has Salman Khan been when it comes to your career and you becoming successful in Bollywood?
Honestly, at a time, I went through 2 really bad phases in my in my career. One was obviously the time right before I signed Murder 2, and one was the time right before I signed Kick. And I felt like I was doing big work. You know, Murder 2 was a success, Houseful 2 was a success, Race 2 was a success. But after all of these back-to-back hits, I still hadn't signed anything. And I was again sitting at home, and I was like, what is going on? And it was at that time where I, genuinely didn't really know what was going on, and I bumped into Salman at an event, and he's like, hey, what's up? And then I was like in conversation, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I was like, I don't even know if I don't know if I'm made out to be the actress that I thought I was made out to be, and maybe I should just move on or accept things. And he was like, no, he's like, you shouldn't, he's like, never ever think like that. And he's like, if there's something you want, you got to go out and get it, and blah, blah, blah. And Salman is he's like that rock of a go-getter and an achiever and a warrior, and he's your ultimate hero, actually. And after that talk, I was just like, you know what, he's right. And my mindset just changed. I was like, no, I'm going to be a little bit more, I'm going to go for what I want right now. And this is what I set out to achieve. And literally, it was funny, but I get a call for Kick, within a month. Out of nowhere. I honestly thought that they were calling me to do the item song for Kick. And I was like, okay, Nadiad's calling me. Okay, what does he want?
I like the way you call him Nadiad.
Nadiad, yeah, exactly. He's Blockbuster now, by the way. That's his new nickname.
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, yeah. But he called me and I was like, okay, maybe to discuss an item song, that's cool. And it wasn't. It was for the lead role opposite Salman Khan, and his first directorial debut. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But it was literally after that talk I had with Salman. It was funny, but when you change your mindset, it's crazy what kind of things you start attracting.
David Dhawan has said that, while you have said that you were really scared, when you started shooting with David Dhawan for Judwa 2, and David Dhawan interrupted you and he said, she's my dream heroine. So...
He's so funny. He's really funny.
He said that, right?
Yeah, he's so cute. I mean, he's worked with the most amazing actors and actresses of our time. And he in himself, he's like the king of comedy. I have learned so much. And that was a dream. It was a dream actually to work with David sir, because, I love comedy. I learned a lot, on the Houseful franchises, working with Akshay, working with directors like Sajid Farhad, and comedy. It's so much fun to do. It's very, very difficult. It's very nuanced. But working with David sir, the king of comedy, I mean, that was one of the most amazing experiences. And that's why I was so nervous, because I know his body of work and I know the kind of actresses he's worked with. And I was like, how will I ever amount to that? And
to Karishma Kapoor's.
Oh my gosh, it was just it was so daunting. But he really made it, I think. He made it very simple for me. He guided me the right way.
आप अभी कितनी हिंदी बोल लेती हैं?
अभी मैं शुद्ध हिंदी में बात कर सकती हूँ.
आप शुद्ध हिंदी में बात कर सकती हैं?
जी.
I'll just throw 3 or 4 words at you, and you have to give me the English meaning for them.
Okay.
Matar Gashti?
That's a difficult one.
No, you don't remember the song Matar Gashti? Ranbir Kapoor?
Ranbir Kapoor?
Tamasha?
No.
So, okay, that's fun.
Okay, it means fun?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, it means fun.
It's Vyayam?
Huh?
Vyayam. It's very you.
Again?
Yeah, it's something you do every day. Vyayam.
Fit?
Exercise.
Exercise.
Okay, Manoranjan?
News.
No.
Shit.
Close.
Festival.
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
Okay, and now this is so you, okay? And I'll give you a hint. You said, no, I'm not giving the hint. This is so you. Abhinetri.
Actor.
Yes, this is
Yay!
why I said that, because when I said you didn't call yourself a film star, you call yourself a film actress.
Yes.
Okay. So that's brilliant. You weren't that bad with your Hindi.
Yeah, I wasn't bad.
Okay. Chanchal, it's you. It's you. It's like you are.
Fun?
Chanchal. Chirpy. Because Siddharth Malhotra once said in an interview, you were right there next to him, he said, she's so chirpy, it can be annoying. And then you went on a digital detox, apparently.
I did. You know, it was...
Nobody believes that, by the way.
You know, it's so funny. Imagine our, our generation is so crazy now with social media. People can go on digital detoxes. I go on them all the time. People don't even notice. It's
Wow.
like out of sight, out of mind. There's so much information that floods us every single day on so many different platforms. We don't even realize when things are like not even there, not even happening. We're so focused on what actually is happening, and that's...
You know, while there are millions of people who follow you and, you know, they adore you, there are another psychos, you know, there are another millions of psychos who are waiting there just trying to put you down.
Absolutely.
So how do you deal with that part?
But that's the balance, I think, of life and of the world, and they're so important to have, honestly, because if you continuously and only have people praising you, and if you only have people, I don't know, just kind of flattering you all the time, it can make you a little bit delusional. You know, you have to be able to be realistic. And there are people out there, they're obviously ruder than they should be.
Yeah.
Which is uncalled for because, they don't need to be.
You've been, been repeated in all the franchise movies, and how you've been a favorite with Nadyad, as you call him, Sajid Nadyadwala.
Blockbuster.
Are you there in Houseful 4, or your ex-boyfriend is keeping you away?
I'm not a part of Houseful 4.
I feel bad.
No, I mean it's important, that everyone. Casting is very, very important, and if you're never fit for the casting, there's no point in actually.
You're being polite, but I'll let it be at that. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you.
It's always wonderful to chat with you.
Yes,
and
thank
keep
you.
staying, keep fit. Yeah, be chanchal, and keep on with your Matar Gashti.
Yes.
And we'll keep giving.
And Manoranjan.
We'll give an F about you all the time.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.